Hello, everybody. It is David Claussen here with English-quickly.com, and we are going to go to Argentina today. Buenos Aires is the Wikipedia destination of the month. Los Angeles has a crazy film we're going to see about. We're going to learn about some dancing and a song, a beautiful deer in a park, and a word that brings everybody together. So let's get started. And so I will share my screen here. And let me pull up something real quickly, make sure I'm doing this correctly so everybody can see. And we're going to start with our movie of the week. And before I do, I'm going to pull up my Skype account. I'm going to put that on. And if somebody would like to call in, this is my Skype, Claussen_2, and I'll make that a little bigger so you can see it. That is my Skype, SKYPE. And if you have questions during this broadcast, you can add me as a contact, and I will see that on Skype, and you can call me during this broadcast. So it's a way to interact if you'd like to practice your English. And just so you know, I am broadcasting. Here is the United States, just outside of Denver. Here's Denver, Colorado. I'm over here in Golden. So let me just see. I'm going to type something real quickly. Make sure that the technical issues are working. And want to make sure, yes, we are live. I'm just going to type hello. We got a few people. Okay, so I'm going to start. Let me just double check that people can hear me. I think so. I see the audio going. And we are ready to go. So once again, if you'd like to call in, I'm at Skype, dclaussen_2. Our number one movie of the week. It's made $10,909,000, and it's called Nightcrawler. And the synopsis, or what the movie is about, is Lou Bloom, an ambitious young man desperate for work, discovers the world of LA crime journalism. When Lou learns of a group of freelance camera crews who film crashes, fires, murder, and so forth. So it's about a Los Angeles crime journalism. So I'll type in journalism or journalist, and that is somebody, would be a reporter or a journalist, and he is working out of LA to find these people who make crashes. So Lou Bloom makes money stealing from Los Angeles construction sites, inspired by an amateur film crew he sees shooting footage of a car crash. Okay, so they do these car crashes and violent incidents in affluent or rich neighborhoods because they get the most viewers. So some of the critics say it's deliriously thrilling, pulse pounding, so it's action orientated, so or what we would call in a crime thriller. Crime, which is, I'll type that in, so crime is when there's something bad going around. You have a crime scene, a robbery, have theft, murder, okay? There's a crime going on, something bad, and that's where he makes a little money. It was released on September 5th and now on October 31st. And the budget or the money it took was $8.5 million to make it. All right, let's move on to the Hot 100, the top songs in the United States. Number one right now is Shake It Off. And I did that a few weeks ago. We talked about that. All about that bass we've done. Habits. Animals. Bang Bang. Black Widow I did in another video. So we will do this Don't Tell 'em. So don't tell 'em. Let me play a little bit so you get the rhythm. So you don't want to tell what they're doing. It's something bad. And I'm not sure what it's about, but I think, so some of this English is a little tough for me. But I think he's talking about a pole dancer. In English, we'll say. And I looked it up before I went on. So I think he goes to a club and it's a stripper or a pole dancer is what he is referring to, because he says, don't tell him. And he talks about, you know, the rhythm of your hips. So these are hips. When, you know, they talk about hips, these are your hips right here. Okay. And so it's, you know, once again, it's deals with a lot of sex, which sells in the music industry. And it's sung by Jeremiah featuring YG. So if you like that kind of rhythm, it's don't tell them. Don't tell them what we are doing. All right, moving on now. The New York Times best sellers, and the #1 book this week is called Blood Magic. And Blood Magic deals with kind of witches. And if we look at what a witch is, let's see what comes up. This is a witch. So it kind of deals with black magic. And the setting is in Ireland. Let me pull up Ireland so you get an idea where that is. It's an English-speaking country just west of the United Kingdom. We can even take a look at some pictures to get an idea of Ireland. You know, I can look at some of the castles here. So a lot of ancient structures for us to look at. So that is where Ireland is, and that is the setting of the book. And it's what they call a trilogy. And a trilogy is when there are 3 books. So the other book was called Dark Witch, and then Shadow Spell. And a spell, when they say that, is what a witch does. So I'll type in witch spell. Kind of hard to pull up, but the witch is casting a spell on somebody right here. So when you see that, she's maybe doing voodoo or some crazy magic or something evil to somebody. She is casting a spell, and that's what they're talking about when they say shadow spell or witch. So it has to do with the witch genre, and it is the #1 book in America by Nora Roberts. All right, let's take a look at Wiki Travel, and the destination of the month is Buenos Aires. And Buenos Aires is located in Argentina. So if I type that in, Buenos, hopefully I typed that right. There we go. Buenos Aires. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can take a look. So there is the country of Argentina in the continent of South America. It's right by Uruguay, and it is the capital of Argentina. So let's just take a look at some photos. So give you an idea of some of the plaques. So hopefully this pulls up there we go. Eva Perón, you might know that from the song Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. And we have these plaques here. Let's take a look. So there's the building of Los Inglés. Give you an idea of some of the beautiful scenery here. Some nice buildings. Look at this church here. Modern city with a lot of construction. You can see it there from the nighttime. Looks like we got some forest or a little jungle-like atmosphere. This is a statue, we call that, or a monument. And some beautiful flowers there with the buildings. And I have heard it called the Paris of South America. Let's take a look at some of it. Buenos Aires is a huge city with several district articles containing sightseeing, restaurant, nightlife, and accommodation listings. So there's a beautiful picture of it with the flag. The official language is Spanish, and the population is 2,890,151 people. There's an aerial view. They say that aerial is from the sky of Buenos Aires. And I'm going to break this up into 2 parts. I will talk about Buenos Aires next week because there are so many cool things to see here. When they say districts, that's part of the city. So, they have their different sections or part. Here is the Puerto Madero. So a port, okay, is where ships come in. This is Spanish for a port. So if I type that in, like a port city, is a place where the ships come in, the port of a city. And of course, how do you get in? How do you get there? And of course, by air, an airplane. We have an international airport. You can see here a panoramic view of it from the different areas. And so you can see how you get there and how you can also leave there. Buses waiting to drop passengers off. You can even get there by boat. They have some tours and ferry tours. A freighter. A freighter is, let me type that in. See, it's a, you can even get there with a freighter. It's a ship that carries a lot of goods or supplies in and brings it into the port. So you can even get to Buenos Aires by a freighter if you'd like. And getting around, they have public transportation like a bus or a subway. By foot is by walking or a taxi. You can see here a lineup for the bus in Buenos Aires. And here is the commuter train, so you can take a train around the city. So that's how you get there and ways to get around. Next week, I'll talk about things we can see there. We'll pick out a few because there's just too much for this week. All right, moving on to our daily infographic. Top causes, excuse me here, oops, made a mistake. Don't need that. Top causes of car accidents. So this comes from Australia, the top causes of car accidents in Australia. And it's distractions. This man is distracted by this beautiful woman. So in Australia, there are over 600,000 road crashes reported in Australia every year. So 600,000 road crashes. And what's causing all these crashes, injuries, and death? It's to stay focused. What you need to do is pay attention. So in English, when we say to pay attention, let me type that in, see what comes up. Pay attention. It means to focus or to do what you're supposed to do. Pay attention. Are you paying attention? She is paying attention in class. It's focusing right here on what you need to do. So when you drive, you need to pay attention. You don't want to be looking at a pretty woman. You need to stay focused or pay attention on driving. You need to slow down because speeding causes a lot of bad accidents. When you drive too fast, there are more accidents. Stay sober. So sober means you don't drink. So this man right here is drinking alcohol, and that's bad. To stay sober means you don't drink. Be extra vigilant on a bike as well. So pay attention on a bike. So that's kind of an interesting infographic with the top causes of car accidents. Looking at National Geographic, which was always great to look at their photos, royal velvet. And velvet is a type of color. Look at this beautiful color, this deer, and it comes from London's Richmond Park. So let's take a look on the map. So we go from Buenos Aires, okay, in Argentina, and we're going to go to London. And I'll zoom out here a little bit. It's in the United Kingdom. So kind of fairly close to the book. We were in Ireland before, and now this Richmond Park is in the United Kingdom. I'll pull up some views of it. Maybe we can take a look. So nice photo coming up here. Look at that with these rays we can see through the clouds of the sun. Some nice pictures. My computer might be a little slow. It's working hard. See if I can get another one here with an animal. Maybe not. While that's loading up, I'm going to just look to see if there's any questions. I think we are good on questions. So let's go back to Velvet, Royal Velvet in the London's Richmond Park. And we can see, it's kind of hard to see with these animals in the park. But that gives us an idea. So from National Geographic, Royal Velvet in London's Richmond Park. And to finish it all, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, Learner's Dictionary, learner's word of the day is solidarity. 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 And it's a feeling of unity between people who have the same interests, goals, etc. So when people feel unified, they work together. So unity, let me type that in, or unified. Okay, they feel like they're working together, they're unified. Okay, these teachers are on strike together to show their solidarity. Okay, it's to work together. The vote was a show of solidarity. So kind of a unifying word of the day, solidarity. All right, so I think that will cover it for today. I'm glad you are here. If you have any questions, feel free to, when they have it, I'll have comments below that you can, I see we have a few people looking. Samira Pumal, I'll say hi. Hi, Samira. You know, I thought it's a good way to learn English with people from all around the world, these live broadcasts. And I know it doesn't always show up. It's sometimes hard to see. I can't focus in like with the other software program I use, but you can learn and listen to a lot of English. So let me get some white in here, focus in. Let me take my white paper, white balance. That's a little better. So thank you so much for being here. If you do have any questions, just put it in the comment or suggestions for the future. I'm going to program in next week's program, so then you know when it will be on. So let me show you that. If you have any questions coming in, I will do that. So I'm going to go to live events. I'll create new live hangout, and I'll do a live English lesson with the best of the week. And let's see here. I've got a message coming in. Margaret says to say hi. Hello, Margaret. How are you? Let me type in. Good that you're here. I will make it public here. And so live English lesson with the best of the week. I'll put it in for next Sunday, the 16th. I'm going to do it at 7 a.m. my time next week. It'll be a little earlier. I will create the event, and that way you'll see the time. Did I do that right? Yep. So when I click it, 6 days, 22 hours, and 32 minutes from now. I got a little message. Samira, sir, please can you some new thing for our online class? I have idea. Please can you add some new thing for online class? And I'll print it. What is your idea? I got a message from Samira, and I misspelled it. I said, what is you idea? I meant to say, what is your idea? And we'll see if he gets that. There is a little delay from when I talk. It's about a minute. Oh, Margaret says there's an echo. Oh, well, I know. It's maybe that's Margaret, that comes from YouTube. Okay, maybe that's from YouTube. I'll look into it. So, you know, I know that technology isn't the best, but at least it is free. So, you know, I'm not sure, you know, it's hard to fight with YouTube when it's the technology's free. So, Samir, if you have some ideas, go on ahead and type that in. And I'm going to stop the broadcast. I think we are finished with the questions. And thank you all for being here, and have a great week. Hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.